So this is still chapter 2.4. I broke it up into 2 days because, as you can see, these systems of equations, when we have 3 equations and 3 unknowns, or 3 by 3, they can get a little tricky. And so I focused part A on the review of solving two by 2s, and I did give you a couple, number 3, number 4, in the homework to try it out and see if you could do the 3 by 3s. But today, I'm not teaching anything new. I'm basically just going over these 3 by 3s some more, doing some examples, and actually just showing you one more thing. Of course, I have to put my pirate up here because X marks the spot when we're talking about at least 2 by 2 matrices. And so let's get going here. Okay, so these are the steps, and I don't expect you to write these all down. I put a link in Canvas if you want to click on that and print it out. Or if you want, I can also print it here if you'd like to look at it. Or you can write it down. And I know it looks pretty nasty, but once you get the hang of it, you'll get it. Okay, so let's start off with this example. Remember that step 1 is when I choose 2 equations. So I think I'll just choose the top 2. It doesn't matter, although sometimes they're easier than others, but I'm just gonna choose the top 2. So I've got x plus 2y plus 5z equals -1, and 2x minus y plus z equals 2. And I'm looking at this, and I could drop out any of these. I could multiply a -5 here through all of this and get rid of the z's. I could multiply through by a 2 and get rid of the y's, or I could multiply through by a -2 on top and get rid of the x's. And I think in this case, I'm going to multiply through, let's do the y's. So I'm going to multiply through the bottom by a 2. So I get 4x minus 2y plus 2z equals 4. Okay, and now I'm adding up this equation with this new one. Remember that this equation multiplied by 2, if you were to graph this equation and graph this one, they would graph right on top of each other because they're the exact same equation. Okay, now I'm going to add up. So x plus 4x is 5x. 2y plus -2y, that's the one that gets eliminated. And then 5 plus 2 is 7z equals -1 plus 4 is 3. All right, so there's the first of my 2 equations. Remember before I had them in columns? I can do that again if that helps. And then, of course, the answer is going to be an XYZ answer. Okay, so for the sake of space, I'm going to erase this. And now, I think I will pick maybe the first one and the last one. So x plus 2y plus 5z equals -1, 3x plus 4y minus 4z equals 14. And since I took the y out for this one, I have to take the y out for this one. And I think the only way I can do that is multiplying through the top by a -2. Okay, so this is -2x minus 4y minus 10z equals 2. All right, and I add those together, and I have x, the y's cancel, minus 14z equals 16. All right, so I bring that over here. X minus 14z equals 16. Okay, so now I've got my 2 by 2, and there's a couple things I can do here. I think for this one, I'm going to multiply the top row by a 2, and I'm going to get rid of the z. So if I do that, I did that prematurely. okay, I would get 10x plus 14z equals 6. So now when I add these together, I get 11x, the z's drop out, equals 22. So my x is 2. Now I just need to take that 2 and plug it into one of these, and I think I'll do this one. Changed my marker color. I'm going to plug this in here, so I've got 2 minus 14z equals 16. Subtract 2 from both sides. I get negative 14z equals 14. So z equals negative 1. Okay, and then lastly, I've got x and I've got z, so I'm going to plug them back into one of these 3. And I think I'll do this one. So I'm going to plug them into 2x minus y plus z equals 2. All right, so 2 times 2, I'm looking for y, plus a negative 1. So this is negative y. 4 minus 1 is 3. Subtract 3 from both sides. Negative y is negative 1, which means y is 1. And this is my x marks the spot. This is where in a 3-dimensional graph, all 3 lines would cross right there. And if I plug each one of these into each one of these equations, of course it's going to come out just fine, and they would be true statements. Okay, I want you to try one on the next video. Actually, I take that back. Okay, so I'm going to go on, and I want you to try this. You can see it. Try this, and we will cover that on the next video.